It was the Christmas season. About 100 people had gathered for a Sunday night service. It was a time of rejoicing, as they sang their great hymns of the season. "What does Christmas mean to me?" was the suggested theme for testimony time. Several people stood and gave vibrant, positive, Christ-centered testimonies. Then a lady I knew, who occasionally visited the church, stood to give her testimony. "I will tell you what Christmas means to me," she began. "Christmas is of the devil, it is nothing but a pagan holiday," etc. I do not suppose anyone there expected that response. This lady, a sister in Christ, was standing up for what she thought was right, as unconvincing and divisive as it was. Technically, she was correct in that there are some elements in today's Christmas celebration, which may appear to be stemmed from pagan customs. As Christians seeking to serve the Lord in purity, when we hear that a custom was practiced by pagans, it is easy to assume that custom is bad, that it was bad then, and it is bad now. This is not always the case, however, for there are some practices that are common to many religions, ancient and modern. Let us go over a few examples. One could argue that since pagans bowed on their knees and prayed to their gods, that Christians should not pray that way either. But this is, so obviously, not a valid comparison.
For this reason I kneel before the Father.
If a Hindu is plunged into the Ganges River as a purification rite, does this mean that during an immersion in water a Christian is pagan? If we were to show that pagans waved tree branches during their idol processions, would this prove that Jesus accepted pagan worship, when his followers waved palm branches during his triumphal entry? There were ancient temples, prior to the time of Moses, that included a special, sacred room into which only the high priest could enter. Was Moses mixing in paganism, when his plans for the tabernacle called for the same? There are those who would condemn the whole celebration of Christmas as pagan, because it has some pagan elements in it. But if we turn this around, we do not believe something is Christian just because it may have a few Christian elements in it. Consider the harmful, deceptive, and sometimes bizarre cults that come and go. The fact that they may teach some Christian concepts does not make them Christian. If one visits the small voodoo museum in New Orleans, it is evident that the demonic voodoo religion, as it developed in that area, also has some Christian elements in it. Does this make those who practice voodoo Christians? Among the Jews, from biblical times, there are major festivals that coincide with a full moon. Devil worshippers of a remote African tribe carry out their rites at the time of the full moon. Does this make them Jewish? The dictionary defines witches' Sabbath as a midnight assembly of witches, devils, and sorcerers for the celebration of rites and orgies. The fact that they keep a Sabbath, and the word Sabbath appears in the Bible, does not mean witches are Bible believers. If, as Christmas spread among many countries and cultures, it appears to have picked up some pagan elements, this could hardly prove that Christians, who observe Christmas, are pagans. We should not credit paganism for more than it deserves and, at the same time, discredit great ministries, churches, and the people of God in general who celebrate Christ's birth. Despite whatever pagan elements appears to exist in some of today's Christmas customs, were it not for the birth and life of Jesus Christ, there would be no Christmas. It is not simply a pagan celebration, to which the name of Christ was later attached. Except for similarities here and there, nothing like Christmas ever existed prior to its development among the followers of Jesus Christ.